Hey everybody, happy summer. This is your professor for literature, intro to literature, summer, Charles Kell. This video, I'm just going to quickly walk through the syllabus, the class, and set things up and all that jazz. So hope everyone's semester ended well and hope everyone's ready to go. All right, here's a quick overview. So here's the home page on Blackboard, the Get Started page here. And right when you open the Get Started page, you'll see a little welcome video from me. You'll see the literature syllabus is going to be here, discussion boards here, course expectations, course all this jazz. And on the toolbar on the side, you'll have all these links to the class. I'm going to walk you through that in a moment as well. So here is the syllabus. All right. Here we go here. Let's make this a little bigger. Not that big. So this is English 1200 620 Introduction to Literature. And what I always do for my courses is assign a theme to them, which will be like a lens we're reading the short stories, the poems, and the plays from. So the title of this class is Class. I'm thinking about social class here, right? Work and the American Dream. There's my name. You can call me Charles. You don't have to call me doctor or professor. There's my email if you have any questions. If anyone wants to talk about the assignments, etc., we could set up a Zoom meeting or an email, or I can meet you on campus. A couple quotes here from some of our texts. I would walk on bones for my sister, I vowed. I would put my bare feet on rotting flesh. I would save Sorty. That's from our first short story, Maylie Chase Saving Sorty, which is really, really a remarkable story. And then our second short story is the famous Sonny's Blues by James Baldwin. I was scared, scared for Sonny. He became real to me again. This class is distance learning, remote asynchronous, which means we'll not be meeting. I'll be posting videos that walk the class through the lessons and assignments. It is your responsibility to watch and take notes on these videos. Even though we are not meeting, the course syllabus will structure the class based on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I like to replicate as much of an in person class as possible. This will help guide where you should be and when you should be completing the readings and assignments, etc. Everything's located on Blackboard. There's no books. I'm providing all the readings, the poems, etc. It's your job to keep up with the readings, work, and basically what's going on. You need to be proficient and comfortable navigating Blackboard. If, though, at any time in the semester you feel lost or if you want to work on or cover additional topics, it's your job to let me know. I'm not going to be emailing you all the time, reaching out. It's your job to let me know if you're stuck or anything. The entire class and readings will be available on weekly sessions on our Blackboard page. So, right here, weekly sessions, and I'm going to go over that as soon as I'm done with the syllabus here. Course description. Here is the CCRI's course description. The course examines a variety of literary genres, fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and drama, as expression of the human desire to communicate philosophy, experience, and attitudes. Examples found in diverse literary cultures from ancient times to the present are the basis for reading, analyzing, and evaluating these forms of verbal expression. My area of study is mostly contemporary literature, so we won't be reading a lot of old stuff. We'll be focusing mostly on newer contemporary things. And here's my description. The themes of this course swirl around the various ideas of class, work, and the American dream. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, one definition of class is, quote, a set in society based on social or economic status, a system that divides members of a society based on social or economic status, end quote. One definition of work is an activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve result. The American dream is, quote, the ideal of equality of opportunity associated with the United States. All these terms have multiple definitions that we will be exploring, arguing with, and complicating throughout the semester. All the stories, poems, and plays we read will examine these themes in many different ways as well. So here are the learning outcomes. If we don't hit these things, I'll have failed you miserably. 1. Display a working knowledge of the genres of poetry, fiction, and drama by writers from various cultures and historical areas. We'll be looking at various cultures. We won't be, getting into different time periods as much. 2, identify and describe distinct characteristics of literary text, like plot, protagonist, antagonist, theme, symbol, all that jazz. Uh, Analyze literary works for their structure and meaning. We'll be doing that a lot. Write analytically about literature using MLA guidelines. Effectively communicate ideas related to literary works during class and group activities. We're not going to be working in groups because we're online. Again, no book. I'm providing you all the readings. I'm not going to read these policies word for word. Your papers, you have 2 papers. Those are going to be in MLA format. The discussion boards, I don't care how you write those. Well, we won't be. A lot of this is for in-person class too, so you could disregard those. All right, here's the big money. Here's what you want to find out. Here's the grading policy for the course. I always base my course off 1,000 points. It's easy to gauge your grade. You finish with 940 points, you have a 94%, right? So we have discussion boards throughout. Those are really, really important. That's half the grade, and I'm going to walk through those in another video as well. So you got to keep up on the discussion boards. We have basically 1 a week. So you got to complete those and complete them on time. That's worth half the grade. We have the first paper, which is worth 200 points. Paper 2, which is worth 250. And attendance. Now, we're not meeting in person, but this is if you turn your papers in on time, right? If you just turn your work in on time, you get that 50 points. And, I have a hard time if your work's more than a week late, I won't give credit. If it's a few days late, I'll give you some credit. Keep up on your work, all right? The grades will be available on your papers with detailed comments through Microsoft Word, track changes, and posted on Blackboard. I want everyone to get an A in this class. It should be your goal to do really well. So if you don't do as well as you want on a paper, you can resubmit it for a higher grade. I want everyone to do well. So just keep up with the readings, keep up with the work, and you should do okay. Here is the course schedule. So, and there we go. I don't need to read this verbatim. You know how this game works. Get out of here. Oh, that's another thing. Please don't use the robot. Please don't use the robot to write your papers. A lot of times I'll get students who plug in the poem or something for the robot, and they're not even quoting from the actual story. So don't use the robot. Don't use the robot. All right. Tuesday, May 20th, introduction syllabus. We're going to look at coals, oil, and steel. First discussion boards due Thursday, May 22nd. Your close reading, Maylie Chase, Saving Sortie, Baldwin, Sonny's Blues. And that's the class. Paper 1's due June 5th. Paper 2's due the last day. And you have discussion boards throughout. So that's the syllabus. Please close read this thing. Live it, love it, learn it. Here's our Blackboard page. So hopefully, please watch the video. Watch this syllabus video. Here's the course. So if you go onto our Blackboard toolbar here, weekly sessions. All right, there's our 6 weeks. Week 1. Henri Cole's Oil and Steel. There's the poem. There's an old video of me close reading the poem. Here's Maylie Chase Saving Sortie. There's an old video of me close reading Maylie Chase Saving Sortie. So there's really no excuse to really fall behind. You have the story, then you have me reading it kind of like we would in class. Here's literature paper 1, a video on that. And this is how the weekly sessions follow. So Baldwin, Sonny's Blues, an old video of me reading Sonny's Blues, the next couple stories and videos. And so on and so forth. Here is how you'll, and again, I walk you through in the paper about the paper 1, I walk you through how to turn in the assignments in the papers. But if you go to, on our toolbar as well, assignments, click on that. There's a video on paper 1. There's paper 1. So I walk you through all this stuff in detail. Please watch these videos. We're online. You got to watch the videos. I have sample paper 2. If none of you are familiar with MLA format, I have this link on MLA format where it shows you how to it walks you through setting up MLA format, etc., etc. On our homepage as well, I have the video on discussion boards. So you can look at that video on discussion boards there and see that. So yeah. Now, some of these videos I made a while ago, so the dates might not correspond. The dates might be a little off. Follow the syllabus. Follow the syllabus, our main syllabus, and you can follow the dates on the assignment sheets. And that's basically it. So that's the class. You know, we have 5 discussion boards, 2 papers. We're going to be reading a little bit. I have all these links on our Blackboard page that will help you. Again, if anyone is stuck or if you're having trouble, please feel free to reach out to me through email and or Zoom. So that's the syllabus. You know, my whole goal is to keep everything pretty much bare bones, easy to follow, simple to follow. I don't like a lot of busy work. You know, I try to replicate the online class just like in-person class. So I'm not trying to give you a bunch of busy work. And that's it. All right, everybody. Good luck with the class. And email me if you have any questions.